The Arctic Ocean exhales against the Siberian coast. Each wave freezes mid-crash into jagged sculptures of salt and ice. At -71°C, air itself becomes a weapon. It burns exposed skin in 11 seconds. Dimitri's breath crystallizes before leaving his mouth. The vapor falls as snow, accumulating on his beard in tiny daggers. He stands on the ice shelf, harpoon planted like a flag. His eyes scan the breathing holes scattered across frozen ocean. Behind him, Mikhail struggles with the sled. The metal runners scream against ice hard as concrete in this killing cold. The young hunter's fingers cramp inside his gloves. He flexes them constantly, fighting the stiffness creeping into joint fluid. In this void, sound travels differently. A cracking branch 3 kilometers away echoes like a gunshot across the wasteland. Dimitri removes one glove for 8 seconds. He touches the ice, reading the vibrations. Something massive moves beneath the surface. The old hunter's pupils constrict. He's tracked Walrus for 34 years. This signature belongs to Mikhail. Joins him at the hole. Steam rises from dark water below. The breathing hole remains open. Something keeps it clear.
Dimitri explains in short bursts. Too many words freeze saliva to the tongue. Bull walrus, old maybe 1,500 kilos. The nephew's eyes widen. A bull that size could feed their village for 6 weeks. It could also kill them both. Dimitri checks his harpoon tip. The ivory point was carved by his grandfather in 1947, stained brown with decades of blood. Around them, the landscape offers no mercy. Ice extends to the horizon, no trees, no shelter, only the thin line between survival and death. Mikhail's face already shows the signs. White patches bloom on his left cheek. First-degree frostbite. He rubs the area frantically. Dimitri stops him with a grunt. Friction damage makes it worse. Let the body fight slowly. The breathing hole suddenly erupts. A massive gray head breaches. Whiskers thick as cable. Eyes like black stones behind frosted lashes. The walrus exhales. The sound is a diesel engine starting. Vapor explodes upward, creating a temporary fog that freezes into falling crystals. Dimitri's hand tightens on the harpoon. The beast is 30 meters away, too far for a clean strike. They must wait. The walrus submerges. The breathing hole returns to stillness. Only ripples remain, freezing into concentric circles of ice within seconds. Mikhail whispers the question, "How long can it stay under?" Dimitri's answer is grim. "Longer than we can stay out here." The old hunter begins the ritual. He checks rope coils, tests the harpoon's balance, prepares his body for the explosive violence ahead. In -71, you get one chance, one throw, one moment before the cold steals your strength forever. 20 minutes pass. The hunters' bodies begin to fail. Mikhail's shivering intensifies. His core temperature drops to 35.8 Celsius. Dimitri feels it in his joints, synovial fluid thickening. Each movement requires more energy. The body hoards warmth for vital organs. The walrus surfaces again, closer now, 20 meters. Its massive body displaces water that freezes instantly around its neck. The beast's eyes lock onto Dimitri. Recognition flashes. Predator identifying predator. The ancient contract between hunter and hunted begins. Dimitri raises the harpoon slowly. Fast movements burn calories. Calories are survival currency. Every motion must earn its cost. The walrus pulls itself onto the ice. 1,500 kilograms of blubber and muscle. The shelf groans under the weight. Its tusks scrape the ice. 70 centimeters of weaponized ivory. One sweep could disembowel a man. The chipped left tusk tells stories. Mikhail readies the backup spear. His hands shake violently. Not fear, hypothermia. His body's furnace sputtering, unable to maintain heat. Dimitri steps forward, 12 meters now. The walrus watches. Breath clouds merge in the space between them. Hunter and hunted sharing air. The beast bellows. The sound is primal, a challenge that echoes across ice. Sound waves visible as vibration in the frozen atmosphere. Dimitri answers with his own roar, psychological warfare. His breath explodes outward. The effort costs him. The walrus shifts its weight. Front flippers braced. Its eyes never leave the harpoon. It knows this weapon. Scars prove previous encounters. 8 meters. Dimitri's throwing range. But the ice beneath him cracks. Hairline fractures spider outward. The walrus's weight stresses the shelf. Mikhail sees it first. "Dimitri! The ice!" His shout uses too much air. He gasps. Frozen air sears his lung tissue. The old hunter doesn't respond. Focus absolute. He measures distance, wind speed, the slight tremble in his throwing arm from cold. The walrus lunges, not at Dimitri, at the breathing hole. Retreat, its bulk slides across ice, momentum building toward escape. The beast pivots. 1,500 kilos of fury, the rope snaps tight. Dimitri wraps it around his waist. He becomes an anchor. The walrus pulls. Dimitri slides. His boots carve trenches in the ice. Mikhail grabs him from behind. 2 men against a monster. The rope burns through Dimitri's jacket. Friction heat. In -71, this warmth is almost welcome, almost enough to ignore the pain. Mikhail's feet lose purchase. He falls. His face hits ice. Skin tears. Blood flows. It freezes instantly, gluing his cheek to the surface. The walrus reaches the breathing hole. It begins to descend. If it submerges, the rope will drag them both into freezing water. Dimitri makes the calculation. He releases the rope. The walrus plunges. The harpoon still embedded. Blood trail marking its escape route. Mikhail peels his face from the ice. Skin remains behind. Raw flesh exposed to 71 below. The pain comes in waves. Dimitri helps him to the sled. They've failed. The harpoon is lost. The walrus is wounded and enraged. Everything just became more dangerous. Dimitri examines his nephew's face. 3rd-degree frostbite. Permanent scarring guaranteed. They need shelter. They need it now. But the blood trail calls to Dimitri. A wounded walrus cannot dive deep, cannot hunt. It will return to this breathing hole to die. But the blood trail calls to Dimitri. A wounded walrus cannot dive deep, cannot hunt. It will return to this breathing hole to die. They build a snow wall, emergency shelter. Mikhail's hands no longer obey commands, his fingers frozen into claws. Dimitri works alone. The young hunter's shivering stops. This is worse than shivering. Hypothermia stage 3, the body surrendering, death negotiating terms. Dimitri removes his own jacket. He wraps Mikhail in double layers. The nephew protests weakly. Dimitri ignores him. Age withstands cold better than youth. Behind the snow wall, wind speed drops. -71 becomes -63. Survivable for minutes instead of seconds. Dimitri forces Mikhail to eat. Frozen seal fat, 5,000 calories per chunk. The body needs fuel. Warmth comes from burning food. Mikhail's jaw won't chew. Dimitri places fat between the boy's cheek and gum. Let it melt slowly. Deliver calories through saliva. The old hunter's vision blurs. His own core temperature dropping. 34.9 Celsius. Cardiac arrhythmia risk increasing every minute. He thinks of his wife, dead 6 years. Cancer took her in summer warmth. He wonders if she's warmer than him now. The breathing hole erupts again. The walrus surfaces. Weaker now. The harpoon protrudes from its shoulder, blood loss visible in its movements. The beast struggles onto the ice. Its flippers slip, coordination failing. The same cold that kills men also drains this ocean giant. Dimitri forces himself to stand. Every muscle screams protest. His quadriceps shake. His hamstrings cramp, the body eating itself for heat. He picks up the backup spear, heavier than the harpoon. Requires more strength. Strength he doesn't have. He lifts it anyway. The walrus sees him approach. It tries to roar. The sound comes out wet, weak. Blood fills its lungs from internal damage. 5 meters separate them. Dimitri's heart pounds. Arrhythmic. His ribs ache from the erratic beating, the cold squeezing his chest like a vice. The walrus lunges. One final attack. Its tusks swing wide. Dimitri drops. The ivory passes centimeters above his head. He rolls, comes up under the beast's neck, drives the spear upward, through blubber, through muscle, into the heart chamber. The walrus collapses. 1,500 kilograms of dying giant. It falls beside Dimitri. Warmth radiates from its massive body. Dimitri doesn't move. He lies against the walrus, stealing its heat, feeling its final heartbeats through layers of hide and fat. The beast's eye stares at him. Recognition again. Respect. The ancient contract fulfilled. Hunter and hunted both paid the price. Blood pools beneath them. It steams in the cold. The vapor rises, creates a warm microclimate. Dimitri breathes it in, lets it thaw his lungs. Mikhail crawls from the shelter. He sees his uncle, sees the dead walrus. Understanding dawns. They've survived. They've won. Dimitri begins butchering immediately. No time for ceremony. They need blubber, need fat, need to build fire before darkness comes. The knife cuts through hide. Steam erupts from the opening. Body heat escaping. Dimitri works inside the carcass, warming himself from within. Inside the walrus, temperature rises to 15 Celsius. Mikhail joins his uncle. 2 men inside a giant. Survival symbiosis with the dead. They cut blubber in silence. Each piece represents hours of warmth, days of food, the margin between death and spring survival. Dimitri finds the harpoon, still embedded near the heart. He pulls it free. Blood gushes. He washes the ivory tip with snow. They use the harpoon to saw ribs, to access liver, 6 kilograms of organ meat. Vitamin A levels dangerous for humans. Mikhail's face has stopped bleeding, the raw flesh already forming ice crystals. Natural bandage, nature protecting what it tried to destroy. Dimitri teaches as they work. The walrus knew it would feed us. This is the agreement our grandfathers made. Mikhail doesn't understand. Dimitri continues. We take only what we need. We waste nothing. We honor the death by living well. They extract the heart. 10 kilograms of dense muscle still warm inside. Dimitri cuts a piece, offers it to Mikhail. Eat. Take its strength. They extract the heart. 10 kilograms of dense muscle still warm inside. Dimitri cuts a piece, offers it to Mikhail. Eat. Take its strength. At minus 71 degrees, the body doesn't digest. It reboots. Iron hits the blood. Heat returns. Cells awaken. Life resumes. Dawn breaks at minus 70 Celsius. 1 degree warmer. The sun rises as a pale disk, offering light but no heat to this frozen world. Dimitri and Mikhail load the sled. 400 kilograms of meat. Blubber. Hide. Ivory tusks worth 3 months' wages. The walrus divided. The nephew's face has blackened. Frostbite completing its work. Tissue death permanent. He'll carry this memory in his mirror every morning. Dimitri's own body shows the cost. New white streaks in his beard. Frost damage to hair follicles. Age accelerated by extreme exposure. They abandon the carcass. Polar foxes already circling. White shadows against white ice. The ecosystem claiming what remains. Nothing wasted here. Mikhail asks one final question. Was it worth it? Dimitri doesn't answer immediately. He measures the question against the silence. The village eats for 6 weeks. Your children learn respect. The walrus lives in our stories. Worth is measured differently here. Homecoming site, shot from ridge to village. Visually, minus 70 degrees Celsius. Silhouetted men, loaded sled, distant village smoke.